Happy New Year, everyone! I've been meaning to make a video like this for a while in which I can explain some of the wild things that happen in the videos that I take and upload on my YouTube channel. Normally I don't comment in many of my videos, I just let them speak for themselves. But this video will be different. I either know exactly what happened because I actually talked to the drivers directly, or I'll give a perspective as an armchair viewer on what I think happened, or show you something I noticed while editing a video where I think things went wrong. Let's start off with one of my favorites, the wild man Rick Johnson and his menacing looking 1960 Chevy Bel Air. His claim to fame is doing the twist wheelie. He has been doing the same wheelie time and time again until this one time back in 2015 he found some extra horsepower and cranked out this wild and crazy wheelie. It was amazing. Sparks flying off the rear bumper, slams down and crushes his headers and breaks the rear panhard bar. Fast forward to 2019, he enters into the famous Byron wheel stand competition, and I'm just going to let this play out for you to watch. This was just amazing, and the only thing I can see when putting it in slow motion is that the rear suspension on the passenger side locked in place for a second, and that's why the car got off balance. The only damage on this run was a little sheet metal on the front, and he broke one of the A-arms and was giving a call out for a welder to fix it before the next round. He actually welded it up and made it out for the next round of wheelies. And check out how his second wheelie went. Next up is one of the craziest turbo diesel trucks I have ever seen at the drag strip. It is a 1937 Chevy truck driven by Tony Rizzo, in which he enters into no prep events and puts on a wild show for the crowds. During this run, I was just in shock as to what I saw. I didn't know what caught on fire, but I could see he was okay. What was even more crazy is that he won that race, so he moved on to the next round in the event. I see his truck pulling up in the lanes within a half hour later, and he's ready to go again. And actually wins the event for his class for the night. I talked to him the next day and asked what happened, and he said it was just an oil leak that caught on fire. Tightened up the fitting and cleaned up the oil spray and was good to go again. Unreal. The next two clips are of Chevy pickup trucks at the Byron wheel stand competition. I'm just going to let them play out and comment afterwards. This is crazy, but that is the same driver for each truck and pulled this off 5 years apart from each other. My buddy Tim Chamblin owns both trucks and did this with the black Chevy Love truck in 2017 and the white Chevy C10 truck in 2022. Mirror images of each other and saved it both times. I honestly don't have a clue why this happened, but that sure had to have been a wild and scary ride. This awesome looking 1968 Plymouth Valiant driven by Randy Williams is racing at a no prep event in Tucson, Arizona in 2018. This was a hard hit the car took, and luckily Randy was okay after this, but the car was a total loss. I noticed that the pass he had made earlier in the night, the car had jumped to the left and he got out of it. So I think in the run where he crashed, He overcorrected that shift to the left and stayed in it and spun out to the right. This stunning 1978 Oldsmobile Cutlass, driven by Jason Schubert, entered into the Byron wheel stand competition in 2017. It was sure one to remember. The safety equipment did its job and Jason was just fine after this wreck. The reason he didn't lift is because he couldn't see the wall coming up that quickly, and the two-way radio in his helmet malfunctioned and he did not hear his spotter screaming to lift. The car was obviously a total loss, but crazy enough he made another car exactly like the old one and actually won the Byron wheel stand competition in 2022 with this wheelie and making him a two-time world champion. Speaking of two-time world champions, that brings up my good friend Chris Pierce, who drives a Chevy-powered Ford Pinto named Chinto. Part Chevy, part Ford Pinto. This next video is just crazy. I think I know why it happened. Stay tuned. Here's a GoPro shot that I had mounted on the roof of the car. What I think happened is that on an earlier run that he had before this wall slide, he was doing a wheelie and dragged the bumper and actually ripped half the bumper off. So when he did the wheelie that swung him to the left wall, it was because the rear bumper was not supporting the car evenly when he rode up on it, and to the left wall he went. The Pinto was heavily damaged, but not totaled out. He fixed it back up and came out the next year in 2021 and won the event with this wheelie. The driver of the last car of this video is one of the biggest showmen that I have ever seen at a drag racing event. Wes Newman owns and drives this beautiful 1968 blown big block Camaro, and he always gets either the most violent wheelie or the highest wheelie when he enters a competition. And keep in mind while watching him run that this is a purpose-built wheelie car with a shell of a Camaro sitting on a tube frame and not a numbers matching show car at all. It has permanent mounted wheelie bars on the rear and even has roller wheels under the car to save it a bit from when it comes crashing down. His signature move that he always starts off with is a wild and crazy burnout that usually gets out of control. So to conclude on why he crashed on his burnout, I'm sure it's a mixture of too much horsepower, staying in it too long, and trying to be a showman and get the crowd to go wild, in which he succeeded in doing that. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, Happy New Year to you, and please click one of these great videos shown on the screen now to keep the party going.